I first made this salve during lockdown and still use it today. It's excellent for general aches and pains in muscles and joints and for arthritis. I've given it as gifts and my friends and family are always impressed that this actually works. So I encourage you to give it a go. It's very easy to make and I'm resharing our first time making it. Here we go.
The first thing we're going to do is we are going to, I'm only doing a little batch. We're going to put a jar with dandelion petals in it, and I've found the best way to get the petals. This is the calyx. We aren't personally using the calyx, but this is what we're going to do to get the petals. I've found this out by trial and error. Put your thumbs in, open it up, and there are your petals. You can just grab them and pop them in the jar.
Okay, I have here just over half a jar of the dandelion petals. Some people dry them. When we tried to dry them, they went into the seed heads, you know, the little white fluffy seeds. And other people have said you can use them fresh. This is our first time making this, so we've decided to use them fresh. What I've done is I've picked them in the afternoon and they've had sun on them all day, so they're as dry as they can be. There's no dew on them or anything, and the concern is moisture mixing in with the oil that you're about to put on them. And what you do next is you take some oil. We are just using extra virgin olive oil. You can use coconut oil or something like sweet almond oil. This is what we have, so this is what we're using. And you just fill up the jar. What a lovely colour. There we go. And you leave this for a week or two. Put it somewhere dark, and every time you remember, sort of give it a turn over. Sorry, I'm not focusing very well there. There we go. You know, every now and again, give it a turn upside down, an invert like this. Don't give it a shake. You don't want to leave it more than 2 weeks because it can start to spoil. So we will come back in 2 weeks and show you the next stage. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? And here we are, 9 days later. Now I did say leave this for 1 to 2 weeks. You don't really want to leave it any longer than 2 weeks because they can go a bit, you can go a bit off. So 9 days later, and what we're going to do now is we're going to strain the oil from the dandelion leaves. And what I'm using is I've just got a bowl with a sieve, and then I have, well, we actually have cheesecloth for cheese making, but any fine muslin or something that you have in there. And so I'm just going to, what a lovely colour. Lovely, tip that in. I'm not sure how quickly this will come through. Oh, it's going through quite quickly. So I'm just going to leave that to drain for a moment as all the oil has come through. Now what we're going to do, it has drained through, just going to gather up the edges. This will be easier when you have 2 hands, but just squeeze all that dandelion goodness out. So we want to get as much as possible out. There we go. Okay, and what I've done now is I have poured the dandelion oil into a cup measuring to see how much I've got, and I have half a cup. So if you do any bigger than this, then just multiply the quantities up. And what I'm going to do, I've got a double boiler going here, and if you don't have a double boiler, then a saucepan with a glass bowl or even a glass jug over the top will do, but I just happen to have a double boiler. What we're going to do is pour out oil in. I have added into here 10 grams, which is about half an ounce of beeswax. I got the little pellets. It does melt very quickly. And once that has melted, we want to stir in the same amount, 10 grams, half an ounce of shea butter. Check that's all gone, yeah. And that should dissolve quickly as well. There we go. I did turn the heat off because the water underneath is still hot. I had it on the lowest heat anyway. Right, there we go. Now what we do, remove that all together. And we are going to add in some essential oils. Now I have lavender and sweet orange. They go really nicely together. These are pure essential oils. They are the best to use. So we are going to add in, I'm going to start with 6 drops of each, and we're going to see what that smells like. Three, 4, 5, 6. That was the lavender, and now for the sweet orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Smells really lovely. Just going to put the lids on because obviously I can really smell those, and then we shall just see what the mixture smells like. Okay, it does still smell, I can smell the shea butter and the beeswax, so I'm just going to add a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think a 5th one slipped in there. That's okay. Right, so I've finished putting the oils in. I've put in now 12 drops of each, lavender and sweet orange. Now both of those are anti-anxiety, anti-inflammation. They help you to sleep. The sweet orange will help with skin absorption as well of this, and the lavender, well, they're both actually help with stress relief, but the dandelion goodness in there, that will help with the pain as well as the 2 oils. So I'm just going to get the containers that we have for them. Now what I have this little pot. This was a hand cream pot that I had and washed out. And this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this one up first, and then I'm going to put the leftovers into this. This is just a spice jar that was washed up. So that's what I'm going to use. Lid off. Hope I can do this one-handed. Okay, I've taken the pot off of the double boiler saucepan and I've wiped the bottom because condensation does get on there and you don't want water getting into the oil. Put a little funnel in there. There we go, now we're going to leave them to set. And here they are all finished. They are cold. Just put the lids on. I did this on the computer, just to remind me what it is really. Actually, I'm just going to try some on. Okay, let's try some of this. It's very soft. I've got pain in this joint at the minute, so just rub it in. It goes in nice. It might set a bit firmer, but it's a nice cream. Smells very nice. So let me know in the comments if you give this a go or if you've tried it, and let me know what you think. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. Bye bye.